All right, quick leveling.
They say a little bit of humility never hurt anyone.
It doesn't.
I help others better themselves by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step.
That's my daughter. In case anybody's curious, that is my daughter. She fully and truly believes that she deserves, like, everybody deserves to be humiliated. Increased wounds. This is it. It will not die. This is the one I was thinking of. It will not die is a must-have because it increases wounds by half of the character's level. Round it up. So wounds is health if you're new to Rogue Trader. So like if your character is what, half your character's level. So like if you're like a level 10, it will give you like +5. And honestly, it might not seem like that makes or breaks something, but it makes or breaks some things, okay? If you missed it, I honestly forget what episode it was of Tess's OG playthrough. We had this fight that, I don't know what happened, but we were on, like, was it Yanis we were on? And we were fighting a bunch of Eldari. Tess was the only one alive. Legitimately, she was, like, we were down to, like, 1 HP with Tess. I don't know how we made it happen. I don't know what we did to but we, like, fought through that. That's one of the things I love about this game, though, is that even if you think you're out of it, you're not. Don't count yourself out in Rogue Trader until, like, literally it's game over screen. But because of that, I have learned the importance of just, like, how much even, like, one extra wound can make. Man, that fight, that's, like, one of those things that kind of, like, has stuck with me from my playthrough, is that. Because it's so memorable. Like, it's legitimately one of the most memorable things. Requires Iconoclast. Each heroic act used increases the wearer's dodge. Oh, interesting. A blade made from metal that oh. Is that? No, that is the blade. Okay. Suffers an injury in combat, their allies gain. Okay, I'm just gonna slap that on you for now. Because, like, why not? Tess can technically wear this. I don't need it on Tess. Like, she go and get other things. Wait, yeah. Oh, is that what backpack does now? That's what, okay, so it is your cape. Oh, very cool. No, and then, good. Good. Love that for me. Good. Now, let's do a big save. You can't have enough saves. Okay. Gets me into trouble later on. Hello? Save files? There we go. Definitely really and truly gets me in trouble later on, but here we are. Wait. Okay, no, it's not showing. Now. Over here. You're here! Holy...
The heir is dead. He sacrificed himself to save the entire dynasty.
A
He's
noble
here.
deed. Let the crew offer prayers for the hero who renounced his impure life in the name of humanity.
Holy fudge. They left him here. That's incredible. He's part of Cabela's DLC.
Master Helmsman, systems status report.
By the Emperor.
He's got voice
it's
acting!
The Seneschal. Living and breathing. Well, there's a tricky question. The old place is so overgrown with foul wickedry. We'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long.
Ravor, you have voice acting. I love your voice. This 100% is exactly what I would picture Ravor in my head. How did your people... We need to how did your people survive?
Must have been Providence. It better have been the Emperor's, not someone else's. When they barged in here, the ones with the Master of Whispers, some officers charged them. But it wasn't even a fight. I grabbed whoever I could and dragged them behind the cogitators. Then, I prayed for our rescue.
We need to reestablish contact with the Navigator Sanctum. It's our only chance of escaping. Your words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor. The air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs the crying officer without even looking.
Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator's Sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. You may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valancius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take her place in the ritual that is about to commence.
He directs your attention upward to the throne that sits at the apex of the tall staircase. What must I do?
Take the Lord Captain's seat. Order the final preparations. Wait for the officers to report. Oh, blast it all to the void. Translation is a craft, not something to be explained in a tick. Just go up to the throne, mistress. These people are about to do the impossible. The least they deserve is the solace of seeing a figure sitting in the usual spot. And please hurry. Every second we waste is a terrible risk.
I'm ready. Oh, we're walking through people again. Girl, I'm proud of you for that. There it is. This is the first as the chair turn. Well, actually, she doesn't turn the chair, but this is her first time on her throne. I'm proud of you, girl. You take that throne for yourself. What are we doing, though? She pausing. Having a moment. Oh, I see. Abelard's coming up. Okay. The image before you is hazy, swaying in sorcerous currents invisible to mortal eye. As if whatever is beneath this thin shell is constantly changing while still remaining the same. It is taken on the guise of Theodora, but the false rogue trader's eyes reveal the entity's true, surreal nature. One of Theodora's eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire, and the other, a vessel of ancient evil, bores into you. A voice seeps directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears. And this voice booms with all the horrors of the warp.
Who are you to oppose destiny itself for the sake of lives that are not your own? So many threads stretch between you and other creatures of your world. Pitiful, worthless links, ready to shatter at the slightest touch. A muddled, erratic, pointless tangle.
Wait. That. So the interesting thing is, right, so many threads stretch between you and other creatures of your world. Pitiful, worthless links ready to shatter at the slightest touch. Now, you know that, like, the game is referring to right now, or at least it tells you it's referring to the fact that we decided to save everyone, right? So we created threads that stretch between us and others now. But when you get to the end of the game and you kind of learn the truth and the tangled web that is the story, right? When you kind of start to put the pieces together, you start to understand what this whole thing was about, the plan was about, all this other stuff, then this now kind of changes meaning. There are so many threads stretched between you and other creatures, right? Between you and Pascal, you and Heinrich, you and Cabela, you and Cassia. Like, these are all threads. You and Argenta even. These are all threads that nobody expected to get tangled, right? Certain things happened without your knowledge before the events of this game started that had changed the threads of whatever was going on and had spun fate the way that it wanted. And then you come in, this unknown entity, this unknown whatever you are, right? This glitch that has the power to create links or shatter links, which that's what they're saying. They're worthless, right? To this entity, it's worthless because chaos. This is a warp entity. I don't think that they would really mind too much if the final plans of the game actually came to fruition, so long as they got a piece of it, right? So this is really interesting. This is very, very good attention to detail. It resonates and merges with the voices that have already dug their foul roots into your consciousness. A moment later, you realize that all of these voices are the myriad manifestations of the same call that has finally invaded your mind. You're to blame for I'm saving my people. Do your worst. You can't stop me. Be gone. No, I'm saving my people. Do your worst. You cannot stop me.
Lead them, mortal. Guide them. Persuade them. Force them to walk your path. You will need followers, for destiny is preordained.
Theodora lets out a long screech, a shrill, overwhelming sound that can only be interpreted as a laugh. Now, destiny is preordained, but you can prove at the end of the game that it's not. That you have the ability to overwrite what everyone thought was the inevitable.
The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy, a relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured, and the steps chosen. And yet, you broke the unbreakable when you took the aspirant's place. I see you. On the day when the final dawn rises over the Iron World, I see you by my side on that day. The day of my resurrection.
So the funny thing is, right? First they say destiny is preordained, then they said fate was assured and the steps were chosen because of that, and you broke the unbreakable. So which is it? Is destiny preordained, or did you break the unbreakable? Kind of cool that you could think of it as you get to make that decision. Your head begins to spin and viscous drops slither down your cheek. You blink and you're no longer looking at Theodora. It's the traitor Voigtveer, just as fluid and ephemeral as the previous apparition. The same terrifying voice seethes from his lips.
Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will help you find the keys to salvation. The thread that will guide you and the weapon of our return to me.
My favorite part of this now, in hindsight, is that they're not wrong. They literally wove a new thread of elusive possibilities on this day. Because Voigtveer did what he did, because of the Edge of Daybreak, a brand new thread was created. You're the only one that can become the rogue trader, which means you are a new thread of possibilities and very slight fickle chances to do what needs to be done. But they saw it as you will guide like yourself and the weapon. The weapon is at the end of the game, you kind of learn all about this weapon and return it to the Edge of Daybreak. So the Edge of Daybreak is trying to get what we have to deal with at the end of the game. But their big misstep was thinking that we would return it to them. And I like that a lot. I love, like, I mentioned it, I think, in the beta. I think I mentioned it our first playthrough. I think I mentioned it on stream like 1,200 times. But I love this. I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility. Like, that all invokes such very, very careful pictures in my brain. Like, it is so good. Like, you know exactly what this is promising you. This is supposed to seduce and entice you. And the funniest part about all of it is, as it tries to seduce and entice you into following them, because who doesn't want to be remembered forever? Who doesn't want to be that person that's remembered for something so enormous? You know what I mean? But it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be the thread that ruins it all or does something big and grand. You can do whatever you want. I love how this game lets you do that. I love how this is your story. So right here, right now, they're like literally telling you you're starting from point zero. In a very like Warhammer kind of way. So 10 out of 10.
The path is set, child of the dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it, servant of mine.
Like, he keeps thinking. Edge of Daybreak keeps thinking you're its servant. And that's so funny. That is like the funniest thing to me. Also, Child of the Dawn, like, I know this baddie is called Edge of Daybreak, but the fact that like a lot of like poetic literature always likes to mention that like the day starts with like the coming of the dawn or whatever like that. You are the child of dawn. You are the child of this new era. but this is you. This is your era. How is it gonna unfold? And even the Edge of Daybreak can't figure that out. The cavalcade of hazy glimpses of a future yet unknown passes before your eyes. A flash of crimson, purple. The images replace one another in a violent kaleidoscope without ever letting you get a proper look at them. Through the rippling mirage, you see a twisted image of Abelard, the loyal seneschal of the dynasty.
Seneschal? The Navigator's sanctum is silent. The Vox signal is stable, which means...
Bravor turns around and looks up at you. He hesitates for a few moments and then addresses Abelard, who's standing next to you.
The Navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the Von Valancius flagship. We will honor his memory, along with that of all who died this day.
Seneschal, will you tell us now? Who is that? Where's the Lord Captain?
Bravor doesn't look away. He's giving you a hard stare. His white brows furrowed.
As First Officer, it is my duty to inform you with the greatest regret and indelible sorrow that Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius is dead. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty.
It takes time for Abelard to respond. You watch as he grits his teeth, unable to bring himself to say anything. Finally, he adjusts his blood-stained coat, straightens, and begins to speak.
By right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision.
After waiting out the first wave of shocked cries, he glances at you and continues. So, I would eventually like to play as a character who, fights this tooth and nail. She a fucking noble. She ain't fighting this. No, she gonna take it and run.
It is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valancius is her heir, the rightful inheritor of the warrant of trade, and the title of Rogue Trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, have you lost your tongues? Hail your lady. It is because of her toils that we all still live.
That's us.
The deed is done, mistress. My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain.
The Seneschal turns to you. He looks at least half a decade older. Yeah, my favorite narration.
The treachery of the Master of Whispers was fruitless, but victory came at a great cost. Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius perished along with her heir, Edelthrad, and thousands of crew members. Yet hope remained. For the second in line to the Rogue Trader dynasty survived. And through the strength of her resolve, saved those who were counting on her for protection.
I love those cutscenes are legitimately my favorite. I don't know who the narrator is or anything like that, but honestly, the narration for those are so on point, and I love the way that it looks, like the stylisticness of it. Cargo management. Don't show tutorials. I think I actually have no idea what the F I'm doing. We're gonna pretend that I do. If you watch the first Let's Play, you'll know. I literally don't know what I'm doing. I'm just pushing buttons and hoping for the best kind of thing. Welcome if you're new to that. Deep shadows of wariness can be seen on Abelard's face. Though the old officer's eyes are keen, they rake over you from head to toe. He frowns, mutters something, and then nods to himself. Well then, your ladyship. You cannot help but notice that the Seneschal does not know how to talk to you or where to begin. His hesitation brings an involuntary smirk to your face, as though someone else entirely is gloating at the old officer's confusion. Seeing your smile, he pulls himself together. You must now hold your first officer's briefing in your new role as Lord Captain. For many of those who are about to join us on the bridge, this will be their first briefing. We sustained massive losses among the senior and middle-ranking officers. Some posts have had to be filled with the deputy's deputy, while others go unfilled entirely, and now the deck clans are deciding who will take over the leaderless crews. What is on the agenda for this meeting? Reports on the condition of the ship and crew. The Lord Captain is not usually drawn away from her important affairs to attend such routine briefings. This is a unique situation. I am receiving updates from across the ship, and they are not encouraging. Getting this bird to fly could take a gargantuan effort, even so far as you personally negotiating with the authorities of the system we are currently in. So prepare to hear a bevy of complaints and excuses, your ladyship. Take this opportunity to get a good look at the officers who work 6 decks away from the bridge, and they in turn will have the honor of beholding the visage of their Lord Captain. We did like this kind of like Lady Captain, not Lord Captain thing. I envision Noble Tess as knowing a little bit more about rogue trader stuff, if that makes sense, slash the inner workings of the Imperium. So if I skip over certain dialogue options, it's more because in my head, that's not something that Tess would necessarily ask at this point in her life, if that makes sense. Like this, right? Like 5. This is not our Tess, but I do think it'd be really interesting to play as a Tess. Honestly, I think a Tess like this, who romances Heinrich and gets like Heinrich's best ending, where I think he actually will like leave his job and like stay with you forever kind of thing. I think that would be a really interesting run. Yeah, we can't do a third. Wait, actually, in my head, true story, once the next 2, like next year, there's 2 more expansions planned for this game. I can't believe Owlcat's gonna grace us with 2 more. It's so exciting. But anyways, the plan in my head is once those 2, then we do like test 3.0. Maybe it'll be that kind of test. Maybe that's what we do. Let me know how you feel about potentially next year seeing a test that like does not want this, because that could be very interessante, if you know what I mean. Have you succeeded in tracking down Voidveer? He grits his teeth. No, Lord Captain. In all the commotion, his trail went cold. Our people are still on the hunt for him, and many mutineers who may be skulking in the ship's many corridors. But frankly, I'd not be surprised to hear that we are now 1 shuttle short. I'm afraid that will be some time before he answers for all that he has wrought. I'm ready to start. With a gesture, Abelard relays the order to the adjutants at the far end of the magnificent chamber. Oh. Wait, he's here. So is Jocasta here too? Or, yeah. Interesting. A dozen pairs of eyes bore into you, the expressions revealing restraint, joy, curiosity, and wariness. I just want to see. Girl, look at her on her throne. Look at my daughter. I'm so proud of her. No, she does her mother proud. Okay. Attention officers, you've been granted an honor. Lord Captain Tessera von Valencius will personally conduct today's briefing. Our most gracious Lord Captain is ready to hear your reports. Perhaps you'd introduce Jan. I haven't time to be listening to every last officer on this hulking rig. Give me a precise... What are the major... No, like, this could be very noble, but at the same time, I never envision her as that kind of noble. As you wish, your ladyship. He points to a tall, slender woman whose body seems to contain as many implants as it does flesh. Vigdis Suri Oda of the Tolman line, our new Voxmaster. It's an honor to serve your ladyship. Aboard this vessel, you have at your command thousands of crew members and hundreds of officers and section chiefs. I am responsible for receiving, processing, and sending all communications between you and them, as well as external sources. I am your eyes and my Lord Captain. And beside her is Ravor, Master Helmsman. He steers our ship along the course set by the Lord Captain and monitors the void around us to ensure we do not stray into an asteroid field or a pirate trap. The bearded man with pale, almost transparent skin with large dark circles under his eyes, and a dour expression seems hardwired into his face, gives a sullen nod. Hail, Lord Captain. This here ship's as good a home to me, so rest assured she's in safe hands. I'll die before I let her come to any grief. And lastly, our high factotum, Yenner Stanrock, who oversees supplies, procurement, and the great general material well-being of the ship. Dressed in an embroidered jacket, the heavy-set man with oiled hair offers an obsequious smile and bows. I feel like the first time I did this, like, I think I literally sat on stream for like 2 minutes and I was like, what is this for? What is this for? I love that, like, this game does use, like, the $30 to $60 word kind of vibes. I love that so much. It's an honor, your ladyship. You may trust me with all matters concerning your comfort. Everything will be done to the highest standard. In the second row, we have 3 officers charged with overseeing the ship's vital functions. Master of Ordnance is responsible for artillery. Furnace Master, whose crew works to prevent and extinguishes fires on the ship. And lastly, the Drive Master, servant of the Omnissiah. 3 officers salute you. The Infernus Master does so with confidence, while the Master of Ordnance betrays nervousness. Drive Master offers a salute resembling a dance involving a complicated manipulation of all the Tech Priest mechadendrites. Thank you, Abelard. Is that everyone? Unfortunately, the Choir Master, the esteemed Zachary Wise, head of the Oh, wait! Oh, he's part of the DLC. Okay. I'm so glad I picked it. Is unable to join. He is in charge of communication with distant star systems. Master Wise has been in a trance for some time now, attempting to contact other planets and the Von Valencia's protectorate and inform them of Lady Theodora's passing and Voigtvir's treachery. I will deliver a report to your ladyship on the astropath's progress as soon as possible. And it is equally regrettable that 2 more individuals worthy of mention could not join us at the briefing. Master at Arms and Confessor Adalbert. The eminent Adalbert must see to the funeral services being held for the fallen officers, of whom there are too many for him to take leave of the chapel. Mr. Sarbach, who has replaced her late predecessor as our Master at Arms, is currently leading the search for any... Yeah, so these are all Cabela. I love how this is. Obsessed. All other present are adjutants, secretaries, deputies. They are here to make a record of the proceedings. Infernus Master. Hello. Yeah, I love this man. This is... When I tell you that the storyline to the Infernus Master, if you decide to kind of go a little flirty with him, is like the best in like... I don't even know how to describe, especially if you haven't played the Cabela DLC and like that storyline, but it is a mixture of well frickin' played and how dare you do this to me and my heart kind of it's so good. I'm so excited. Yes, Lord Captain. The tall man bows his head in deference. I can report that all fires across all decks have now been extinguished. The preliminary damage assessment in terms of material losses and crew casualties has been completed. Results have been submitted to the Seneschal and the High Factotum. The post passed to him after the previous Infernus Master and his next 3 deputies expired in the line of duty. He remarks in a low voice pitched for your ears only. The lad is managing well so far. He can take the heat, so to speak. High Factotum?